How's it going? Today we're going to be talking about 3-pack blisters for the Sun and Moon era. I just decided to do a video about the 3-pack blisters because right now I think Sword and Shield 3-pack blisters are definitely a really good play right now because look at the Sword and Shield booster boxes. Those are absolutely doing really well. You have the Fusion Strike booster box at like 230, Lost Origin on TCG Player 170. Um, Specifically, Fusion Strike, the 3-pack blister, has the Espeon in it, and it's only like $12.99 on the Pokemon Center. Now, this is going to take a good amount of time to see returns on 3-pack blisters. So, as we're going to see in Sun and Moon, Cosmic Eclipse came out like 5 years ago, but the returns for a lot of these sets have been really good. And now I know Sun and Moon was a different era, but history tends to repeat itself. So I wanted to go ahead and do a video on these 3-pack blisters. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. First off, we have the Cosmic Eclipse 3-pack blister. Here are the 5 chase cards, the most expensive being the Full Art Rosa, followed by the Arceus, Dialga, and Palkia GX card. And so, pretty awesome set. A lot of people actually think that this is the best Sun and Moon set overall, and that team up is only more expensive because of the short print. And so to me that makes a good amount of sense, right? Look at Astral Radiance. Who knows what Astral Radiance is going to do in the future because it was short printed or just had that one print run. But let's go ahead and look into the data. So there's actually 2 versions of this 3-pack blister, and they're pretty much going for the same amount. The other 3-pack blister of Cosmic Eclipse has a Celebi promo, and it's selling for about $75. This 3-pack blister has a market price of $78. So there's only like a $5 difference. I mean, they have the same packs, it's just a different promo, right? So the cheapest though I could find on TCG Player was from M's Gaming for $85 with shipping included. And so if you look from a year ago in April 2023, this 3-pack blister was only $45 at the time to $65. And so if these 3-pack blisters sold for what, $11.99 back then or $12.99 maybe, that's like 5x the retail price, right? And so look at what it's doing now. It's 7x since then. So if we just try to plan ahead from now, there's a lot of 3-pack blisters that are still available, and especially if you get one with an evolution, I think that just adds a little more value. If you look on TikTok too, you can find some 3-pack blisters that are actually sold out on the Pokemon Center, and they're only like $1 more. So I'm going to do a separate video on the Sword and Shield 3-pack blisters, but just so you know, check out TikTok because some sellers actually have a bunch of 3-pack blisters that have been sold out on the Pokemon Center, and you can still get them for only like an extra dollar. Whereas TCG Player, it's like $5 on top of that. So maybe it's like selling on TCG Player for $18, but on TikTok it's like $13.99. So would you rather pay $18 or $13.99? And so I got like 7 Chilling Rain ones with the Eevee, so I'm excited about that. But anyways, let's continue. So Cosmic Eclipse, looking at $85 for this 3-pack blister. That's 8x from retail price. Next, we have the team up with some of the best chase cards in the Sun and Moon era. I know the Full Art Latias and Latios wasn't always an expensive card, but that just goes to show, like, look how much things change over time. Look how much value and appreciation these cards get over time. That's why when things are cheaper, it's just good to invest when people are weary in a product when they're not sure maybe. But if it's a popular product, or if you have a good feeling it's popular, you might as well, kind of add into your portfolio. But anyways, Full Art Latios and Latias, $730. The Gengar and Mimikyu, $277. Whoever has a bunch of these, man, is probably so happy that they have a bunch. Because look, a year ago it was expensive. It was $80 for this 3-pack blister. And since then, another year later, it literally doubled. And the last sale was for $199. So, really cool. That wasn't too long ago. That was in March 28th. So, team up, man, gosh, like, I know 3-pack blisters only have 3 packs, but they're sealed and they're pretty tamper-proof. So it's just something that I'm open to investing in. Now that booster boxes, are kind of getting expensive for Sword and Shield, the blisters are only like $12.99 on Pokemon Center. So it might be something to check out and look at. All right, next we have the Sun and Moon base. The best card in this set, or the most expensive card at least, is the Full Art Lily, $54. Personally, I went the ETB route, and I got a few ETBs a few months ago, like 4 of them. There's 2 different kinds, Lunala and Solgaleo, and I did it mainly because it has the Umbreon in it, and it also does have the Espeon. But let's go ahead and see how the 3-pack blister is doing. In the past 3 months, there has been a little bit of movement. Currently selling for $55. That's the market price right now. The cheapest listing I found was for $55, except the shipping on it is $14.99, so you got to take that into consideration. This card shop has 99 sales, so pretty reliable, I think. Definitely do your research right, but TCG Player has a really good policy anyways. Normally, if I've ever had issues, like I just talk to the person, message them, and we get it squared away. But yeah, I honestly think the ETB is a better route because the ETB is only $60, whereas this 3-pack blister is basically the same price. So there's the Sun and Moon base one, Ultra Prism. So I did a whole video on Sun and Moon as investments for 2024. I went ahead and ranked all of the sets from Sun and Moon just because it was fun to do. And if you haven't checked that out, check it out. Because I just do a tier list on all of them and on which ones maybe are a better investment, like Ultra Prism, obviously Unified Minds and Unbroken Bonds and everything. But there's a lot of other products, right? Like the build and battle boxes. But anyways, I digress. So the Full Art Lily, $419. The Full Art Cynthia, $118. So this set is stacked. It has all these trainers in it. Those are the top chase cards. But then it also has the Rainbow Glaceon, the Rainbow Leafeon, the Rainbow Palkia, and the Rainbow Dialga. And so I think it's just a really good set with a lot of depth. And so I think it's worth considering. And then right here, the 3-pack blister, the last few sales were for $58, and the market price is $53. And if you look from a year ago, it's only gained about $13 in value, but it's still at a fairly affordable price for a 3-pack blister. And so yeah, that's technically 4 to 5x retail price, but I mean, like, these booster boxes are already really expensive, right? And so if you're able to get a couple 3-pack blisters, I just think it's cool, to kind of add things into your collection and then maybe sell one of them or 2 of them later down the line, maybe 2 to 3 years, whenever you're looking to, reinvest your money. So there is Ultra Prism, currently 3-pack blister, market price of $53. All right, next we have Lost Thunder. So the Lugia GX was actually one of my first PSA slabs that I ever bought. I paid too much for it because it was during the Pokemon boom, during COVID and everything. But anyways, the top chase card is the Lugia, $145, followed by the Mimikyu and the Suicune for about $60. And so let's look at the 3-pack blisters. There hasn't been too many sales lately, but this person has a few of them listed for $47.96. And there's 3 of them available from that seller. This was the cheapest price I think I could find. And there wasn't even a whole lot of listings. And that's the thing, is that once an item becomes more scarce, right, it's more valuable. And even though maybe there's not a whole lot of demand for it, eventually, as these Sun and Moon sets get more expensive, the value on all the other products and auxiliary products, they're going to go up, because they're hard to get, hard to find, and they're more rare. So there's the Lost Thunder 3-pack blister with the promo. All right, next we have Unified Minds, surprisingly still under $100 for this 3-pack blister. I know $100 sounds like a lot, but we all know that Unified Minds, Cosmic Eclipse, and Unbroken Bonds are just terrific sets, right? They just have so many great expensive chase cards. Right now, the top chase card is the Full Art Misty's Favor, $178, followed by the Mewtwo and Mew GX, $145. And so let's look at the promo, or the 3-pack blister with the promo. So $70. There's a market price for $59, but again, there's not a whole lot of listings. So, if there's not a whole lot of listings, people are going to value the products that they have for sale more. And especially when you're investing, eventually you're probably looking to sell some things, right, to make a profit. So totally understandable why the listings are around $70 or $80 for this 3-pack blister. But Look at the amount of growth in the past year. It went from $40 to then $50 for a few months, and then now there's been a recent sale. Oh gosh, I didn't get it right here, but I don't have the recent sales, but the market price right now is for $59. So it looks like the last few sales were around $59, right? And it's been pretty flat. But now the cheapest listing I was able to find was for $70. And so I'm really considering either Ultra Prism or Unified Minds. There's also Unbroken Bonds right here. It's selling for a little bit more at around $75. And there's two versions. This one has a Typhlosion. Here's the top chase cards in this set. We have the Full Art Gardevoir and Sylveon, $176. The Reshiram and Charizard, $125. And then there's that Reds Challenge that's pretty cool too. And so let's look at the data. So the market price is $47.29. Luckily, I have the latest sales, $58 on April 10th, $44 in March 22nd. There was 4 of them sold for around $44. And so now the cheapest one I was able to find was this one for $70, $69.99. So it looks like some of these are getting, bought off the secondary market now, and there's not very many. So, if you're just trying to collect or, invest, now might be a decent time. There's been a good amount of growth overall for Sun and Moon, right? But in April of 2023, this 3-pack blister was only $40 and slowly started selling for $47. And now the cheapest listing I was able to find is for $70. So 7x retail price. But I mean, it's an incredible set, right? Like, you're not going to be finding any Sun and Moon booster boxes at a relatively cheap price. Like, gosh, all those booster boxes, I did a whole video on them. They have skyrocketed. So, all right, next, pretty much the same thing. The Sceptile, it's an Unbroken Bonds 3-pack blister, but with the Sceptile now. And I found a few sales. It looks like for $49 and $50 in April. And currently, the market price for this 3-pack blister is $47. The cheapest listing and the only listing I was able to find was for $46 with $14.99 in shipping. But at least you know that, someone's going to ship it really well when they have the shipping at that price. And so maybe it just depends on where their store is located and how far they're going to ship it. But so those are all the 3-pack blisters that I was able to find for Sun and Moon. I may have missed like one alternate version, but here's the tier list. I put Sun and Moon base in the C tier because you can get an ETB for basically the same price, and you get 8 packs instead of just 3. And then I put the Lost Thunder in the B tier list because it was pretty expensive, and really you're only chasing the Lugia or the Mimikyu or Suicune, and the Lugia is like the main chase. And then right here I have a lot in the S tier because either entry point or because it's an absolutely stunning dope set. So I put Cosmic Eclipse. That one in the community is like almost everyone's favorite. A lot of people, might like a different set, but a lot of people just really like Cosmic Eclipse. So it's in the S tier, and because you can get it for like $70. Unified Mind, same thing, incredible set. It's around $70, so decent entry point. They're all under $100 right now. Team Up though, $199, but it's the most expensive set value-wise from the Sun and Moon era. This whole set value in Sun and Moon, or in Team Up, the whole set value overall is like $2,000, and the booster box is selling for like $2,000. So it's definitely in the S tier. Really expensive though. Ultra Prism has a really good entry point. I think we saw some for like $50, right, or $45, somewhere around there. I think 47. And so it has all those trainers in it, and then it has the other cards I mentioned, the Leafeon, Glaceon, Palkia, and Dialga. And then Unbroken Bonds in the S tier, just because, like, gosh, have you seen those ETBs? Those are sick. But decent price for these Unbroken Bond 3-pack blisters. Only like, what was it, $70, $74. So there's a tier list, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and do another video on Sword and Shield, and I'll see y'all there. Have a good one. Peace.